US 9, Great Britain 1. But for the second day in a row, a non-baseballing country, an afterthought in the baseball world, spoils the sports books against the American team. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the WBC storylines on America's minds. And today, the U.S. beats Great Britain 9-1, but Great Britain is leading this game for more than half of it. They're leading until the U.S. puts up that big 5 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning, headlined by Kyle Schwarber. He goes 2 for 4 in this game, scores 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and it's all headlined by his 2-run jack that puts the U.S. up in this game, ends up being the winning runs in this game. He also walks once and doesn't strike out. And obviously hard hit ball on that homer. He's emerging as one of the hot hands, and as a DH, he's leading off the ball game tonight. Is he going to be the fixture at the top of this lineup going forward? Most likely. You also have Alex Bregman, who was hot in the 2 exhibition games, 2 RBIs, 1 for 3, a double. But Gunnar Henderson, 4 hard hits, 4 for 5, a double, strikes out his lone at bat that wasn't a hit. 2 RBIs for him. And then everybody in the U.S. lineup scored yesterday that started. The only ones to not score tonight. You actually had 4 guys who didn't score tonight. You weren't walking. Great Britain's pitchers, I will say I was pretty impressed by their pitchers. And if you actually look at the WPA leaders in this game, it's not the big names at all. 3 names that most non-baseball fans will not know, definitely not household names. Tyler Visa, the starter for Great Britain, he held the line for 3 innings, 3 scoreless innings against the U.S. national team. 6 hard hits on 42 pitches. He definitely got a little bit of batted ball luck. The U.S. kept swinging at these pitches, putting them right on the warning track, and Tyler Visa escapes with a sterling 0.00 ERA through his first start in the World Baseball Classic. The guy who really made a name for himself and definitely doubled his stock tonight, Nate Eaton. He's leading off for Great Britain, goes 3 for 4, and he homers on the first pitch of the game. Tarek Skubal leads off, back-to-back Cy Young winner in the American League, and only allows 1 hard hit all night on 41 pitches. He was dominant other than Nate Eaton. But when he faces Nate Eaton, it's a jack. You got Nate Eaton is a 21st round pick in the Kansas City Royals organization. A guy who's been in the major leagues, with Casey in 2022 and 2023, Boston 2025. But you got to be pretty impressed by what he did tonight. Not a guy that most baseball fans are going to know. The only names that most baseball fans will know is Jazz Chisholm, batting second. He goes 0 for 4, gets a golden sombrero. He is starting off this tournament on the wrong note. But Jazz Chisholm, we know, he's a streak monster. He gets hot and he gets cold. And right now, he's definitely cold. The U.S. Game plan, and the U.S. struck out so many guys tonight, you knew that Jazz was going to be in there a little bit. Cue up the B-movie meme, you like Jazz. Because the U.S. goes out and strikes out, Tarek Skubal, 5 strikeouts in 3 innings, Clay Holmes 6 in 3, and then Bednar, Jax, and Keller each strike out 2 guys in their 1 inning of work. So you've got the U.S. coming out with 17 strikeouts. They were going for the kill against these Brazil pitchers, or against these Brazil hitters in the counts at the plate. They did not want to allow hard hits, because once you get batted balls, you get batted ball luck. And that is how Brazil made it a 2-run game and a 3-run game for most of it yesterday. That's how Great Britain made it they had a 1-0 lead for half this ball game. And that just shows you how much, even though this U.S. team is great, I think that their game plan looks great. It was a little bit funny to watch, as the batted balls all go to the warning track. They're hitting the ball hard. It goes to the warning track, and they're not getting any traction on offense in this game. And Great Britain homers on the first pitch of the game. And then you see Mark DeRosa looking down at his sheets. He's, getting ready to coach. He's not just watching the game and being a passive audience member. But then, you got the U.S. looking like, are they going to switch up their plans? Are they going to do anything? They said, no, we're not switching up our plans tonight. We're going with exactly who we played. They didn't make any substitutions. And I call this, the title of this video and the story of this game is the hot hands are emerging for the USA. Kyle Schwarber, Gunnar Henderson, going to be in the lineup every day until they show otherwise on Team USA. Ernie Clement as well. 3 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 1 for 3 with 2 walks, no strikeouts. That's a glue guy if you've ever seen one. That's a guy who helped the Blue Jays make it to the World Series and be within inches of winning several times. It's a guy who's going to help Team USA lock down their second World Baseball Classic if it comes to that. Pete Crow Armstrong in the 9-hole I really like. Goes 1 for 4, 2 runs scored, a walk and a strikeout. Roman Anthony 1 for 4. He doesn't look too overmatched. He does strike out twice, against these Great Britain pitching. Then Naher Victor, he was coming out and just going for the strikeout on everybody. 1 1/3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts, a walk, a run scored, or a run allowed, and no hard hits though. 30 pitches, he was pummeling the strike zone, and he's got these U.S. guys to strike out for every single out he ended up getting. Andre Scrub came in, and man, I'm not going to take the easy jokes here. I'm not going to take the bait on the name. I'm not going to say that he is a scrub, even though he was an 8th round pick by the Los Angeles Dodgers in 2016. Hasn't played in the majors since 2021. 2020 and 2021 with Houston, had just a cup of coffee in the major leagues. And you look at, his stat line, right? Obviously, he gets the crooked number in that 5th inning. Allows 3 earned runs, allows 3 hard hits, doesn't get an out, gets homered off of, and it was just 9 pitches that he threw. Vance Worley, one of the bigger names on this Great Britain team, a guy who's been in the MLB and been around it. You had Christian Robinson, a pretty big-time prospect in the Diamondbacks organization who's had a little bit of off-the-field troubles, but he hasn't even ever made his Major League debut. He's been around in the minors since 2018. Hard to believe. 4 years off of baseball between 19 and 23. But that's a guy who should be making his Major League debut in 2026. And with Great Britain, you also got to shout out, obviously, Harry Ford, a guy, star of the last World Baseball Classic for them, helped them get into the knockout stages. And he was actually subbed out of the game, replaced by Will Cresswell. Go Cougs, Washington State. Anybody from Washington State, put in the chat, can I get a Go Cougs for Will Cresswell? You look at Trace Thompson, you got to talk about this catch by Trace Thompson, where he robs the homer. I believe it was Bryce Harper in the second or 3rd inning. And just watching this was the best catch of 2026 so far. Not only the stakes, but the actual catch. Trace Thompson, elite athlete, elite defensive outfielder. He strikes out all 3 times he's up at the plate. It doesn't matter though, because that catch is going to live on in Great Britain's baseball history forever. The story of this game, the hot hands emerging for the USA. As far as the pitching side, right? Tarek Skubal, the stat line looks bad, or it felt bad because he allowed that first pitch homer. 13 swinging strikes on 41 pitches. He's going to be in midseason form. Is this the last we're going to see of him in the WBC? Let me know down in the comments below. Does he get pissed that he had the U.S. losing, wasn't in line for the win in this game? Does he come back out and pitch another inning in the WBC? Clay Holmes, he was looking nasty tonight. 8 swinging strikes on 38 pitches, 18 total strikes. And, he was just pummeling the strike zone. He was looking like the first half Clay Holmes from last year, the Adobe himself, Clay Holmes in New Mexico, in Texas. And apparently, with the New York Mets, and you go down to, when Clay Holmes goes down to Texas, there's some sort of Adobe joke in here. The nickname for Clay Holmes, the New York Mets pitcher, pitching for Team USA. He's got that kitchen sink approach, and it was working against Great Britain tonight. They were clearly overmatched. Ends up with 6 strikeouts. David Bednar had a very clean inning of work. Griffin Jacks, Brad Keller. The U.S. bullpen is obviously going to be a huge factor in this tournament. But it's time we go look around the other sides of the world. Because the cool thing about this tournament is you got the different pools all around the world. We actually have live in the bottom of the 9th inning out here at 9:34 p.m. I'm recording in Los Angeles. Shout out to my family, by the way, if you guys are watching this. Appreciate y'all. It was my grandma's 80th birthday. Shout out to my grandma. You know who you are. And, so I was only able to watch, as much of these games as I did. But Chinese Taipei, I'm going to say Taiwan because I'm allowed to, tied with Korea in the bottom of the 9th inning. But at 4-4, Jung-Hoo Lee is up at the plate. Definitely one of the stars for Team Korea. So we'll see what happens there. Korea also, technically on today, when we're going by the U.S. time zones, played Japan and actually battled them to an 8-6 loss, which, considering Taipei lost by a baker's dozen, 13-0. Pretty impressive from Team Korea versus Team Japan. Definitely, the KBO is making a lot of strides. Maybe not on Nippon professional baseball in every sense of the word, putting up quite as many guys, but the KBO, one of the top 4 viable leagues in the world, you could say, definitely up there with either maybe like a low AAA or a high AA. I think the KBO teams would beat a lot of AA teams. Italy beats Brazil 8-0, so they have just as crooked of a margin of victory as the USA does. They got Sam Allegri, Alec Jacob, Gordon Graceffo, Claudio Scotti combining for a shutout, and Don Canzone with a 3-run homer. Miles Mastrobuoni also gets into that game. And I mean, Italy was my sleeper pick in this tournament for a reason. John Birdie going 3 for 4, 2 doubles. Did he get a stolen base? I don't know. But I think Italy has a chance to make the knockouts in this tournament. And I mean, anything can happen in one game. Venezuela beats Israel 11-3. Venezuela is definitely going to be formidable, make it to the knockouts, no question. Canada 8-2 over Colombia. You have, Michael Arroyo leading off 2 for 3. He continues to have a torrid march, carrying over from spring training into the WBC. If you're a Mariners fan on this channel, you know exactly what's going on with him. And Josh Naylor goes 2 for 4 for Team Canada. Former Mariner Tyler O'Neill 1 for 3 for Canada. Abraham Toro, former Mariner for Canada, 2 for 3. Owen Casey, 2 for 4 with a homer. And if you saw what he said, oh, yeah, about the Colombia pitcher when he hit that homer, he said, oh, yeah, he hung the you-know-what out of that ball. Good to see from him. He's definitely a popular sleeper fantasy baseball breakout pick this season, especially in those deeper leagues. Other than that, Puerto Rico only beats Panama by 1 run, 4-3. Out hits them 10-6, so maybe there's a little bit of batted ball luck going Panama's way to give them a closer game. And their pitchers were not getting swinging strikes. So it looks more and more, you look at it like it was that case of just batted ball luck, not going Puerto Rico's way. But with kind of the lack of talent that Puerto Rico has compared to other years, it was just 2 WBCs ago that they were battling U.S. in the final. Shout out to Abdiel Mendoza, big leaguer that we've been watching spring training, obviously. Jorge Lopez, there's some guys in this on this Puerto Rico team as well, but I don't know. I mean, Puerto Rico, it seems like, is going to need a lot to go right to advance in the knockouts of this tournament. They're exhausting their bench a whole lot, just trying to find hot hands, and it doesn't seem like they're really doing it. Their pitching is just not quite as formidable as you'd like it to be. Why is Edwin Diaz, Alexis Diaz, not in this game, considering it's so close? Definitely some questions there, having not watched that game. And those were the 8 games that we had today. Tomorrow we have a slate, I believe, of 8 more games. Dominican Republic had the off day today, and this is good. I think 7 games, and then do you have 8 more games on Monday? Yep, seven games on Monday. Tuesday, the last day of the groups, you got 4 games there. The big one, Monday, next game for the U.S. is Mexico. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit skeptical, because, Mexico is going to be playing for everything. A win for Mexico would do tons for baseball in that country. A win for the USA just satisfies expectations. You never want to be in that sort of position. And Mexico is looking pretty good to start this tournament. Obviously, guys like Rowdy Tellez starting, they're not going to have the talent level that the United States has. But in one game, Rowdy Tellez played well enough in several major league games last year. Joey Meneses played plenty well in past years, for weeks in the MLB. So, going to be interesting to see what happens. I just wanted to come on here and talk about some of that stuff. So, I will see you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to be recapping these games tomorrow. Going to be flying home, and then I will see you guys then to go over some of these other teams' games. So I definitely got to watch Dominican Republic tomorrow because I haven't watched one of their full games yet. Let me know down in the comments, who you think is, surprising so far in this tournament, who you think is not surprising so far in this tournament. Who give me one overperformer, team or player. Give me one underperformer, team or player. I will talk to you guys tomorrow night, and yeah.